It's hard to know exactly what's happening in Syria right now. I'd like to know specifically how that release of chemical gas, if it did occur, and it looks like it did, how that occurred. Because frankly, I don't think Assad would have done that. It does not serve his interests. It would tend to draw us into that civil war even further.
Who do you think is behind it? Who do you think is behind it?
You know, you've got a war going on over there. Supposedly that airstrike was on an ammo dump, and so I don't know if it was released because there was gas stored in the ammo dump or not. That's plausible. I'm not saying that's what I think happened, but
you're more inclined to believe the position of what Bashar al-Assad is saying and what the Russians are saying right now than more inclined to believe what even your colleagues here in the United States believe is truth, that this is Assad, and what human rights observers over there say is Assad?
I don't think it would have served Assad's purposes to do a chemical attack on his people. So it's hard for me to understand why he would do that if he did.
Congressman Tom Massey, thanks for your time.
Hey guys, Kaz here. How you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I know I'm doing great. Thanks for coming to my channel today and checking out this video. I truly appreciate it. Going to be some links underneath. Check out the links to the information I'm going to be talking about today. And obviously, we are very aware of the Syria strike by now. It's been a couple days since it happened. And I just want to toss in my 2 cents. I'm not sold on the whole idea yet of it being a real situation as far as the nerve gas, because we've been down this road before. And for those of us who are awake, we know what the plan is. We know what the Middle East means. And the United States has gone from country after country after country just taking over and doing basically whatever they want in the Middle East and trying to create a situation of control and domination through the military-industrial complex that the United States has. Most of you already know that the United States spends more money on their military than the next 19 or 20 countries combined. And why do we need to do that? Because it's about a domination. It's about takeover. And so getting to the Syrian thing, what I don't like about it is how fast Donald Trump struck Syria with just a short amount of time of coming with the information that was given about the nerve gassing of the women and the children and things of that nature, which is it disturbing? Yes, but we don't know if it's real. We don't know if it actually happened. Now, my point being, back in 1992, when we really got things going in the Middle East, yes, we've been there for a long, long time, but the first Gulf War that we were in with Bush Sr. in 1992 was led on by a lie of babies being in incubators, taking them out of the incubators and letting them die. And Nayura was a supposed eyewitness of this. And as we now know, that when that information came out, the American people were appalled, and we went to war in Kuwait. And we created a disturbance where many, many people were killed. Hundreds of thousands of people were killed over a long, vast period of time, many, many years. And it was all based on a lie. The lie was that there were no incubators, there were no babies in those incubators, and no children actually died. And that's actually documented. There will be links underneath. So the original Gulf War was really based on a lie. And then, as you know, it was based on another lie because it was said that the Kuwaitis were side slant drilling into Iraq's oil fields. Now, as we all know, looking back, that a lot of that was fake news, a lot of that was lies just brought on so we could occupy the Middle East. Now, flash forward to today's time, there's been some common things here in the United States that were false flags. Obviously, 9/11 was a false flag. 9/11 was set up by the U.S. government. We all know that. Everybody who is awake knows that. Another thing that was set up by a local state government was Sandy Hook. Sandy Hook hoax. That was also another false flag event that people are waking up to that just didn't happen. And so when we base actions on false flags and we base actions on non-truths, of either poor information or just outright lies, it can lead to devastating consequences. And it can lead to the furthering of the agenda that these people have for the lesser good of people in the world. Now, some of you who are still asleep may argue this point. You may argue the point that I don't know what I'm talking about, but however, I do know what I'm talking about. I do have evidence, and I do have proof of what I'm saying currently right now. So, my concern is that with the nerve gas and how quickly the information came out, and how quickly after the information came out the strike happened, is my biggest concern. What is the urgency to strike so fast? What was the urgency? Did we even research this information long enough? Did we research this intel long enough to actually understand that did it actually happen? And then thirdly, the thing is that did we really find out who it was that did this nerve gas? If it is indeed true that the nerve gas actually happened, do we have actual proof as to who did it? And so those are three outlying questions right now that may not be known for a while. Obviously, we have the media telling us who we think it should be, but there is no rock solid evidence saying that yes, it was this person who did it. Now, that's what my concern is, and now we have this strike, and it could lead to a bigger situation developing in the Middle East, including Russia, China, and who knows else who's going to throw their hand in this mix right now. So I'm just really open to looking at what's going on. I don't like what's going on by any means. I'm not in favor of the strike. I think it happened too fast. I think it happened with too little information. And it could be just a setup to where they are trying to get to Donald Trump to make him either conform to what they want the President of the United States to do. Because let's face it, every president since well before Kennedy has been a puppet. Now, Kennedy is another whole story. I don't want to go into that, but this is why Kennedy was killed, because he refused to basically do his job, and he was for the people. Now, my question to here is Donald Trump conforming to what they want him to do, meaning the owners of this country? The owners of this country have an overall plan for what they want to have happen in the world. And so my question is have they gotten to Donald Trump? Has Donald Trump been manipulated into becoming just like the rest of the presidents that we have had in recent times? That's another question that is coming to mind. So it's only going to be a matter of time before we find out what actually happened. It's going to be a matter of time before we get the real answers. And it's only a matter of time before we get the answer to who actually did the gassing, and if it is a credible information, a credible source of where the information is coming from. So we're not going to know, sadly, until on down the road. Much like the Nayera thing with the incubators and the babies, and them killing the babies, letting the babies die in Kuwait again, which never happened. So with that, I'm just going to leave you with my thoughts and where I'm at with these questions that need answers, because I don't have the answers right now. Feel free to comment. Feel free to check the links below. There's going to be plenty of links below. Thanks for watching, and keep your eyes and ears open, because this is going to escalate. I just don't know how fast and how severe it's going to escalate to, but it's going to escalate, and I hope that it doesn't go too far. I'm not all that concerned yet. I'm very cautious, but I'm not overly concerned, and that's where I'm at. But folks, have a great day. We'll see you on the next one.